What's going on, family? Hope this message finds you all well and in good spirits. And in this video, guys, I want to talk about how I cope with my anxiety and panic attacks, all right? So this was a question that was asked in the comments, and this is me addressing it, all right? So I've already talked about how I like to get my mind occupied, go outside, walk around, things like that. But these are a few other things that I do, all right? So if I'm going into whether I'm in my vehicle or even in the house, a lot of times this happens to me while I'm driving on the road, man. I'll just, come to a stoplight and, maybe the lights ain't turning green fast enough. I'm at a four-way and then I just start, my body wants to start panicking. I'm not sure why exactly I do that, but it's just something I do. So this is some of the things that help me. I always keep a cold water on me, all right? So I always keep an ice cold water around me, period. In my car, in my pocket, in my hand, if I'm outside, no matter what, I always have a cold water by. And then another thing that helps me out a lot, and some of these are kind of like bad habits, guys. This is just for me, period. You don't have to do what I do. I'm just telling you from my experience what helps me. So I always keep the cold water on, right? And then I always try to keep some type of candy. It can be sugar free. Most of my candy is sugar free. I always try to keep something around to chew on. What I've noticed is it kind of keeps my mind occupied, and it just seems to help. So cold water, candy just really seems to help for me. But what really helps me a lot, along with the cold water, isn't so much the candy. It's it's just the thought of. I think it's more of just doing something, while you're into an anxiety attack or a panic attack, just doing something to keep your mind occupied. Getting that nice drink of cold water just kind of helps soothe you, relaxes you a little bit. But the other thing that helps me out a lot, and this is something I've become really bad about doing, but it's helped me out a lot, and that is these right here. So these little lifesavers right here, guys. I know you've seen these before. This is like a peppermint, I think, or experiment. Comes in a green bag. These are actually pretty good. So I keep a lot of these with me, either in my pocket or in my glove box in my car. And when I feel like I'm about to have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, I get one of these out immediately. I don't know why I do that. I feel like it helps open my airways, and it just helps me just kind of not think about it as much. So that's another thing, whether it's candy or the peppermints, usually most of the time it's going to be this. This is what I'm going to be chewing on most of the time, just try to keep my mind off of the anxiety or panic attack I'm going through. And sometimes just going on a cruise down the road, I might, chew on and guys, let me explain to you, I don't even eat candy. So I'm not a candy eater. I'm not going to sit here and eat candy, in the house for no reason. I just don't mess with candy and sugar. But this is something that's helped me a lot, are these right here. So sometimes when I'm riding in a vehicle, I might eat 6 to 10 of these on one small drive if I'm having anxiety and panic real bad. So the other thing that's helped me out a lot, and this is probably not good for you, but I've done it for so many years, guys. So many years, this is what I've done. And it's really similar to this. So the cold water, the peppermint, and this is the other thing. I know these ain't good for you guys, but in a pinch, this always helps me out. And this is a cough drop. I chew on these a lot. Like I said, this is probably not good to eat all the time, but it helps me. You guys asked what would help me cope with my anxiety and panic attacks, and these are the things right here. So the water, chewing on some candy, chewing on the peppermint, chewing on the halls. The halls kind of helps just open everything up, and it really takes my mind off the anxiety or panic attack that's coming through, and it helps me feel like it's helping me breathe a little bit. And maybe that's just part of my anxiety, just thinking a little bit, and it's really not helping at all. But in my mind, it actually helps me. So these are the things I do. The last thing that I'm going to tell you is that when I'm having just a straight up panic attack or anxiety attack, whichever one you want to call it, everybody calls it something different. Anxiety attacks a lot lighter than a full blown panic attack. But when I'm having either one, especially if it's a panic attack, and I feel like I'm about to take my last breath, all right, I always tell myself, every single time this happens, I tell myself, you've been through this before, and you make it through it every time. And so that's what I like to tell myself. I take my drink of water, I chew on my candy, whatever it is, and I tell myself that you've been through this before, and you make it through it every time, and you'll make it through this one. So with that being said, guys, I hope that helps somebody. I hope that answers your question. If not, leave a comment down below, and I'll try to, make another video. But I believe this is what you were asking me. And if any of you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, drop them down below. I'll try to make a video on that also. And with that said, guys, I love every one of y'all. Keep your heads up. See y'all on the next one.